let's bring in Tommy Chong, man.
Sure.
From Cheech and Chong. Spent some time in jail, I think.
Yes.
You think?
I think.
There he is.
Of course we know.
Hey,
Legend. He's a legend.
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up, Tommy?
What's up, man?
That was the most intense sit-down of a celebrity in our history of broadcasting, I think, man. Looked like you were going to kill us.
Why?
No, you were just getting settled, and it was very...
Oh, I'm taking my time, you mean?
It was okay that you
Settling
took your
in.
time. You just had a way about it.
Well, I'm
It
an
was
old
good.
guy. I'm an old guy.
Not really. You're not that old.
I'm a made comic. You know.
Yeah?
Made comic, huh?
Made comic.
I made my bones while you were doing open mics.
That's right. That's right. We belong to a secret society.
Yeah.
So how's everything? Who's Opie?
Me?
Is
The one that
Opie? looks
looks kind of like a surfer, like kind of...
I thought,
And-
for some reason, I thought it was for opium or something. The Opium and Anthony show.
Hey, well, that's not a bad idea. Opium
Some
and-
days.
Some days people do call
Some
up and go,
days.
the opium and
What do you want,
show.
opium? Yeah, and then Anthony, and of course
Anthony would be
Jimmy
the
Norton.
Italian-looking guy, and
Yeah, and then
there's
Jimmy
Jim Norton over there.
So you're in town. We were just talking before the show. Of course, I went out and said hello to Tommy doing the marijuana logs in
Yeah.
the village.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that about?
It's the only job I could get after I got out of jail. You know. The only job I was offered.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. Well,
A lot of people were
that I
pissed off
wanted.
that you went to jail. Why?
Why did I get?
No,
why
well-
did I go to jail, or why are they pissed off?
Well, we
Yeah,
started,
like, why wouldn't they give you a job? Going
After
to
you-
jail for... Everyone knows you went to jail for something stupid.
Well, Disneyland and things like that. You know, I was supposed to do a voiceover gig at Disney for one of their movies.
and now Disney won't touch you because...
Oh, they just.
Ah,
they
that's
just.
such crap.
They just. I got a call from Goofy. You know. Nope. You're not on.
I'm sure you're probably, tired of the story, but to fill the lilisteners in, what happened? Like,
What happened? What happened was my son had a company that sold water bongs, water pipes that had my face on it, and I used to help him promote them. You know, when I go around the country doing private comedy clubs. Mm-hmm. You know, my wife and I have a show, and Chong and the Family Stoned, and we'd go out and have a good time, and we would sell the pipes at the shows.
And autograph them and stuff, right?
Yeah, autograph
Yeah,
them and
why
sell
not?
them. Yeah, and then we had an art show in L.A. and it was art like in a gallery and that. So a lot of collectors bought them, and but the DEA was on my tail. I didn't know about it, but
the DEA.
yeah,
Because of bongs.
because of water pipes. Yeah,
Unbelievable,
yeah.
man.
And
Weren't they showing up and like taking pictures of you and stuff?
Yeah,
like that?
they followed me around. They followed, we like in Arlington, Texas. They followed me there in the undercover operation, and it was really weird because they were obviously cops. I seen them. I said, oh. But in my mind, I wasn't doing anything illegal. If I was, how come?
I thought you were allowed to sell the
Yeah.
the water bongs and all that.
At the time we were. But these guys, they had their undercover things and acted like hippies. That look, like linebackers with headbands.
You can spot him, right, Tommy? Tommy's like, that's a
Yeah.
narc.
That's like, it sounds like one of your old movies.
Yeah,
Remember that one? Stacy Keach?
Yeah, it was just
Stacy
like that.
Keach was-
Danko?
It's still following you around.
And then one of the girls that worked at the head shop, she's got a big DEA T-shirt on, and she's kind of walking around with him. So the spirit was all obviously trying to tell me something.
Yeah.
These were narcs, and so they hauled me aside and outside. There's a big lineup for autographs. The lineup went about three blocks. Just to get my autograph in, and they're saying, oh, we drove a long way to come, to get a picture and want to talk to you, and these pipes, no, they're not just for tobacco, are they? And I said, of course, like a dummy, I go, no, he says, what are they really used for?
Oh, no.
Oh, Tommy.
And so I said,
You stepped into a left hook.
for pot, of course.
Yeah.
Well, he said, well, no. Why are these better for smoking pot than say a normal pipe?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, because it filters the impurities, and they put that all on tape, and so they
Like
had
you're
that.
talking about something that is a threat to national security.
Oh.
I mean,
Well, figure out the cost. They said someone threw out a figure like something like $50 million. How much armor would that buy for the troops in Iraq?
Yeah. Instead of chasing you around with your bongs.
Me and all the glass blowers from Oregon, they got popped.
What is the actual crime?
The crime was shipping paraphernalia through the mails to Pennsylvania. That was
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, two states that will prosecute paraphernalia laws is Iowa and Pennsylvania.
Now, I'm sure you probably tried to pursue this. Isn't there some kind of, I don't know, saying that it is art and it's artwork and what people use it for? You could use a faucet to smoke pot out of.
Absolutely. In the thing, that the law that I broke, it covers everything. For instance, they even got those little alligator clips that you can buy in Radio Shack.
Right? Yeah.
They said that's considered drug paraphernalia. So if I shipped alligator clip through the mail, technically, you see, they could bust me. But I had a great case, the art thing, the whole thing. I had a great case. So they threatened me with my to go after my son and my wife.
Oh boy!
And the feds said that we will get them.
The feds,
scumbags.
Yeah, they
over
said
bongs.
They said they would put my son and my wife in jail. I would probably walk. He says, but you'd be visiting your son and your wife.
So you had to take the hit.
And so I took the hit. But I didn't mind. I was kind of torn between it. But then I figured, Cheech and I got a new movie coming up. We got, and I'm on the marijuana logs and that. So I needed the publicity.
How much time did you
look at that?
It's like a 9-month reality publicity stunt.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt you in the long
9
run.
months you spent in it.
9 months.
How was your time? Was it?
It was great.
It was enjoyable.
It was great. I
Everyone
had
was cool to you?
I had one bad half hour, and that was the first night I was in jail. And when they turned, I could hear the door being locked, and I'm in a dormitory in a little cubicle with 2 other inmates.
Animals.
and the rest of it, there's like 250 people in this 250 people in this dormitory, and the noise, you can hear people snoring and farting and sleeping, and that was the only bad. I had a sort of claustrophobic moment.
Sure,
because I'm in a bunk and I'm next to a cement wall, and it's about 2.5 feet wide, steel, little plastic mattress.
And you're like, here I am for 9 months.
And here I am, yeah. And that was it. And then something came over me, sort of warmth came over me, and it was like...
It was the guy on the bunk above you peeing.
Relax.
Unfortunately.
No, I'll tell you, when you're in that kind of situation, you're down with the nicest, sweetest people I've ever met. Yeah, because if you step out of line, at least a little bit, there's no gate around. I mean, there's no fence around the place. There's a chalk line around the whole perimeter.
It's like on the honor system.
And if you step out of line, you lose that privilege. And so everybody just tiptoes around, smiles. Everybody's sweet.
What'd you do to keep busy?
Oh, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Well, the first. I was there about a week. Everything takes time, like you they give you like a month before they even assign you a job. So, like with us would be like, okay, I'll see you tomorrow, we'll do it. But in prison, it's like next month. Mm-hmm. So time stretches up. So I read a lot. I watched television a lot. I worked in the garden. But what happened, I hooked up with the only real criminal I found in the place. This guy had been down about 2 or 3 times, tattoos all over. He was like head of the Aryan nation at one time, He was a cool guy, very funny guy. And he was a big Cheech and Chong fan, so he knew all the bits. And he was kind of heavy, like really, been pushing iron, all the time he'd been in jail. So he was the only like real gangster or criminal-looking guy I found there. And I met him because I'm a tango dancer, so I was taking tango. I'm still do.
Not tango dance with the guy.
Yeah. So what happened? I'm out on the field practicing my tango, and these big rough bikers, they're watching me.
Why would you ever practice tango in the prison yard? Are you insane?
What balls?
Really?
And Steve,
That's like the injured gazelle in the.
yeah. So Steve, he had to say something. So he says, "Hey, Chong," he says, "you don't have to dance alone. I'll dance with you." It was big. Everybody goes, ah. So I walked over to him and I grabbed him. I said, "Come on, let's go." And he jumped like a little girl. He got away. Everybody's so homophobic there. He ran around. I said, "Come on, what's the matter? You don't want to dance with me?" And from that day on, we become the best of friends. And he just sort of guided me through the whole thing.
What were a lot of guys in for? Just minor stuff, or
mostly white collar stuff. I counted 8 doctors.
Wow.
There's 8 doctors, lawyers. There's a Reagan speechwriter, a guy that used to write speeches for Reagan, and so it's not a movie at all.
Right.
And you're down with some of the most entertaining con men. These are confidence men who scam millions off people. And, you're down with these guys. These guys are the most entertaining, sweetest people in the world. That's their job.
They're used to doing that, yeah.
That's their job. I mean,
people's confidence by smiling and being nice.
First guy I met, I wouldn't say his name, but I ended up in his cubicle because he conned the lady into saying that he knew me on the street. And he knew enough about me that he said, "Yeah, I met you at a party, blah, blah, blah." And he went on. And I felt like I knew him. And he fooled me for at least 3 months. 3 months that I really thought, and then his story started falling apart. I could feel,
Yeah.
I got onto it, And Steve, my dog, the big biker, he taught me all the different things in prison, how people lie and how people, do what they do. It was incredible.
No one started any physical confrontations with you, did they?
Oh, not a bit. Are you kidding?
And what about the sex thing?
Oh, that's all. That's myth. It's myth.
No.
I mean, there's gays. There's gays.
No, we were talking about prison pussy yesterday, the pocket pussies and stuff.
Oh,
and
what
they make the homemade
take
pussies.
care of yourself.
Well,
that's a long time without.
Well, first of all, they feed you stuff to keep your sexual urge non-existent.
Really?
It's in the food. The saltpeter or whatever it is. So to begin with, you don't have any
your sex
urges.
drive goes down the
Totally.
Wow.
That's to begin with. Second, there's nothing titillating in there. Howard Stern is probably the most sexiest show, on television.
Yeah.
You don't have time. I mean, we have female guards that look like gorillas,
Right.
So that's a turn
Yeah,
off,
I bet.
I mean, if you've been down a long, long time, the happiest guys in there were the gay guys, because
Well, that makes perfect sense.
they're at
doesn't
home.
it?
Yeah. But they hung to themselves, and of course there was a few of the older gay guys would hit on the younger, fish that would come in. Because one guy was a barber. And when he'd cut the young guy's hair, he kind of straddled him.
Oh.
But the young guys, I mean,
You need to put this in your mouth so I can put your hair. For some reason.
but it's not Hollywood at all.
No.
And not Hollywood at all.
It
Not
sounds-
even the least little
It sounds
bit.
like you really enjoyed your time in prison.
Ah, man, it was
It was a good experience.
One
I
of
mean,
the-
I'm sure you didn't want to go there, but then
Well, I figure out. I'm a writer. I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
And I'm a stoner. So I learned and then I had to take a drug course. I had to take all
Really?
these courses. I had to go to school. I had to go to get my GED. I've never graduated high school. And so there's a law, if you're in prison, you have to take the courses.
Wow.
Of course, I failed it. The math. I couldn't do the math. I tried. I really tried. I studied.
Really? But the math is holding you up.
Well, it's algebra.
Yeah.
And can anybody here do algebra?
Not
No,
me.
not
worthless.
anymore.
Yeah.
Not
Not me.
anymore.
And then they said you could use calculators. And so I learned how to use a calculator. But then when the test came, they let me use it for like 5 minutes and they yanked it away. And I was like, couldn't do it.
Man,
I worked in the garden there.
that must have made some jokes too,
Oh, yeah,
You in the
big
garden,
time.
of
Yeah,
course.
well, National Enquirer got a hold of the pictures that my con man cellmate sent him. and then, so the garden was great, because I could get away. And then I ended up hanging with the American Indians. They have a sweat lodge That's a what do you call it? A religious right that every prison has to have a sweat lodge for the American Indians, and it's very cool.
Jeez, really?
Yeah, everyone.
What do you do there?
Sweat.
You just sit there and sweat with Indians.
Well, it's a ceremony.
Yeah.
It's a very ancient religious ceremony. It's very cool. Or not cool. It's hot as hell,
It's
you know.
hot.
What it is, it's a lodge that you have to get on your hands and knees and crawl into. And you go clockwise around, and you sit down. And there's a large lodge leader, and no one else speaks except the leader. And he conducts the ceremony. And then the hot rocks are brought in, symbolizing the center of the universe, or the center of the earth, which is hot, molten rock. And then they chant and pour water on the rocks, and then they pull the hot, they seal it off, so it's like totally sealed. And then you sit in there and...
How bad did you want to be high in there?
Well, you know what happens? It's so
the
hot.
Center of the universe, dude.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a situation? I mean, you talk about claustrophobia.
Yeah.
When you're in like that, there, in a situation like that, there, and your ego just goes out the door, or you go out the door.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a macho thing, you know. You can't leave because all the other guys are, you know. You have to sit it through. It's a warrior's thing.
How long is it that you're actually sweating like that?
They're called doors. You might, the longest door would be 45 minutes, and the shortest would be 20. At least it depends on the chanting. But what happens? You go into a state where you lose track of everything, but because you can't see anything, it's like you're totally blind in the heat, and it's you get
Sounds pretty wild.
You lose whatever toxins, spiritual toxins that you have. It disappears, and then you sweat, and then you get to like a near death state toward the end. And when you crawl out, a lot of people couldn't walk; they just fall, and then you lay there and sort of recuperate, and then your soul or your spirit sort of comes back into your body, and it takes a while, and then you're okay. But once a week.
Wow.
That's pretty wild,
Once
huh?
a week.
Yeah. Once a week. For 3 months.
Damn.
Oh, yeah. There was... And time went by real fast.
I bet.
Once I started sweating.
Yeah.
So all that Hollywood crap, about, the gang, plotting and, the gangsters. Come on,
The hard
Louis.
time.
Come on, Louis. You distract them when I'll, all that crap, I mean, there was stuff going down, like, people had cell phones, and, you could get a year in jail if they caught you with it,
Wow, really?
Yeah. I mean, any infraction they would throw
Just
you
add more time on.
Well, there was there was a camp, and then there was a real maximum security prison.
You want to stay in the camp?
Yeah, you want to stay in the camp. The max has barbed wire, and it's loud because mostly Spanish illegals, like 1,000 of them, all speaking Spanish, screaming at each other.
So you want to stay out of there?
You want to stay out of there.
Yeah.
I mean, and everybody, no respect.
Mm-hmm.
Like the heavy prisons, there's a respect factor. That's why my buddy Steve, he hated it over there because no one would, he's a white supremacy leader, but no one cared. It's tough being tough, and no one cares about it.
Yeah.
So what was the first thing you did when you got out?
I went to Starbucks.
Did you?
Yeah, my wife and a guy that did a biography on me, television thing. They took me right to Starbucks. I got a coffee because you can't, the coffee in jail, the food, and everything in jail is horrible. I mean, to the point, coffee tastes like warmed up dishwater.
Ugh.
And you're not allowed to relax and eat. You come in with your food. You gobble it down, and then you leave. You take what you can't eat, dump it in the thing, and throw put the tray. You eat off trays with plastic spoons. You're not allowed a knife. Spoons. And people have been eating like that for like 15, 20 years. I mean, people have done time.
Doesn't sound like much fun.
It's not fun.
I'm sure you made the best of it, but probably not fun.
Well, what happens? You're in everybody's in the same boat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so your level of expecting good times varies.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Now you get to watch television for an extra hour. That's a big woo.
Yeah.
Or you have a Christmas tree that for Christmas. You know, these guys made they made a snowman out of toilet paper. It was pretty funny because the guards weren't too pleased. The counselors, we had women counselors, and they would walk around with suits and look at you and call you in their office and ask you questions like, you know, are you keeping yourself clean and you behaved and all that. It's like school, and then you have to stand up, be counted every 4 hours.
Right.
You have to. They find you wherever you are, or you have to be in a certain spot, and then you stand up and you wait for the guards to walk by and count you. And
When you got out, did you find out like who your friends were, kind of thing? Yeah. Before you went in, were there any people that after you were in there kind of steered clear of you?
Yeah, Disney.
Disney.
Oh, that. Well, you know, with me, you know, I was lucky. You know, I was like a big hero, inside, outside, everywhere I go now. You know, people, hey, it was terrible what happened to you and all that. No, what happened? It's not so much you find out who your friends are. You find out who your friends, who people. There's certain people react. You're like, what's Pat Morita? You know, the Karate Kid,
sure.
Mr. Miyagi. He called me the night before I went in, and it was like getting a call from Mr. Miyagi, telling me, "You'll be okay, you'll be fine. You know, just want you to know, you know, good luck and all that good stuff. You know."
Good thing you didn't think of him when he was in Happy Days. That would have been a far less comforting call. Don't bend over.
No, who else? I got some interesting non-calls. You know, from I don't want to mention any names. You know, and I won't. But there were some acquaintances of mine that could have done something. Arnold, for instance. You know. Schwarzenegger, you know, I've smoked a joint with Arnold, you know. I've known Arnold for years. When he first got off the boat, you know.
He liked his pot, huh?
And we smoked up a lot, you know. And then all of a sudden he had amnesia when it came to me, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he couldn't remember.
Well, now he's the governor of California. You can't be telling people he was friends with you.
Yeah.
Good morning. I'm saying that as him. I mean, it's kind of pathetic.
I'm a cop, you idiot.
I'm a police officer.
It's like, hey, you know, how about helping me out, Arnold?
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Hey, I'm going to jail, man.
Quiet.
No help from Arnold.
Not at all.
But when he needed pot, he knew who to talk to, right?
Well, you know, and Cheech and I actually performed at one of his contests that he ran, you know, and I got a poster and everything, you know. And, no, we were, you know, and then when Up in Smoke, you know, our movies came out, he was struggling, you know. And,
sure.
And then it was like, well, he was friends then. He knew me then. But Arnold's always has been like a celebrity whore, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember being in the gym, and we used to, there a couple of us, you know, did movies and that. We used to count how many people he had talked to before he talked to us, and that would determine where you were at on the scale, you know.
A little Arnold seniority.
Yeah, a little Arnold thing, you know, the scale. But the funniest Arnold story, this one girl that used to work out looked almost identical to Demi Moore. And she come over to me one day and she goes, "Arnold thinks I'm Demi Moore." And I said, "Why do you say that?" She goes, He's training me. He thinks I'm Demi." I said, "Well, did you tell him?" She goes, "No." He trained her for like 3 weeks. And then one day he found out, I guess he met Demi Moore at a party or something. And he come in, he wouldn't talk to her.
And then he's not training her anymore.
Because that dummy.
What a dick. He's just the worst.
What film are you doing with Cheech? You said you're doing another movie. That's great, man.
Yeah, we were working on it as a reunion movie before when I got busted. That was kind of funny because I ended up having to give Cheech all my bongs that the feds never found. So Cheech has got them all.
So how do you smoke your pot now?
I don't smoke.
No more, huh?
I quit. I get tested.
Wow.
I'm on
How does that feel?
supervised release.
Was that a rough thing to do? Not smoke pot
Not
anymore?
at all.
No,
Not at all. I never smoked that much.
No. Really?
A lot of it was an act.
Yeah.
I toke up a little bit, but
Any tips for the kids? Because now we can't smoke our pot with our bongs. Maybe hollow out a carrot. I mean, what are we going to do now?
I do a joke.
You ruined it for everybody.
I do a joke. I said, they figure, that we're going to quit.
Yeah.
Because we can't smoke them on a bong. I said, when you got good pot and no way to smoke it, you turn into MacGyver in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that's a good joke.
That's how it used to be as a kid, man.
Anything.
An apple.
Toilet roll.
Yep.
Dan was talking about how he did I was going to say the
Just
faucet.
take my kitchen faucet off, and it already had a screen in it.
Well, a
You
guy
just put it in there.
in prison, a grower / dealer, he told me the healthiest way is to take the bud and dip it in honey and just eat it.
Really?
Yeah, that's the healthiest way.
I've been sober for 18 years. Do you have any idea how good that just sounded, the way he described that, to dip a bud in honey and just eat it?
Yeah.
Jesus, that sounds appetizing.
That's the best, because then you save your lungs,
Yeah.
But you got to be careful, because you can't tell how much you're getting, so you can take a little, you take too much of the stuff they got now, and,
It gets you high, though, right?
It'll put you away for a while, yeah. It'll get you too high, so be very careful.
I won't
Yeah.
either.
That's the healthiest way. But I haven't smoked, I quit the day they busted me.
Yeah, I guess that's a good day to quit.
Yeah, that was good. But when I was in jail, about halfway through they hadn't tested me, though. I was in there for about 3 months. And then this guy, another inmate, walked up to me. I knew him. He was from the Haight-Ashbury era,
Mm-hmm.
and he was in there for a long time. He was on the back end of a 20-year sentence. And he walked up to Steve and I. Were sitting in the middle of the soccer field watching the sunset. That was what I used to do for 3 months. And he walked up with a joint. And he flashed the joint at me. He goes, "Hey, do you want to smoke up with me?" And of course, Steve, told him, "Hey, get the out of here," And so the guy left. Next day, I got tested. First time. So it was a little setup there.
Wow.
Would have been a thrill for the guy, though, to smoke a doob with you.
Yeah, it would have been a thrill for the
one-
feds to put me back,
Sure.
put me in the hole.
There's nothing better to do but go after you for selling bongs. It's so irritating with terrorism and all
Yeah,
that shit.
bongs.
They're worried about Tommy Chong selling bongs.
What's a bong
Ugh.
gonna do?
God, is that aggravating.
Well, I felt like, when David Copperfield does his magic, and he does a little thing with his hand to distract you from what he's really doing.
Uh-huh.
That's what I felt like. The bongs going down and all that stuff. In the meantime, Bush and them are attacking Iraq and and messing up the country that way, or
A little diversion.
little voting fraud going on. Little all this stuff going on, and that's really what it was, what it turned out to be.
You were getting a lot of shout-outs at award shows and stuff. Free Tommy Chong!
Oh, yeah?
Like a lot of people yelling that out. Pretty funny
Yeah,
to watch.
we're going to Aspen for some award, in
February, I think, is the festival, right?
is it February?
I think so.
Yeah, February. We'll be in Aspen. Cheech and I are going to get I'm going to get the Convict of the Comedian of the Year award. I got asked to be on the Christmas show when I was in there by the gay barber. And
Was he straddling you?
no,
He's trimming your beard.
one of the greatest things about, I don't know, I got a vibe or something, but I don't get hit on by gay guys.
No?
No.
Did you used to,
I got
or?
some kind of, no, never.
No, never?
Never have. I got hit on one time at the YMCA one time. And I was really shocked because it was in the dressing room, and the guy, "Hey, do you want to get together later?" And I looked at him, and then he reached in his locker and pulled out the thickest pair of glasses I've ever seen. Then he changed his mind.
You were feeling good about
Kinda
yourself
took
for a
one-
second.
Yeah, he took one look and said, "Oh, sorry, I thought you were someone else."
You're a 2 in the gay community. That's hilarious. We're all asking where Cheech is.
Yeah, and the marijuana logs, I tease the guys, the other loggers, Doug and
Yeah, what is this
and
show all
Tony.
about? I don't think we
It's
really
a-
explained it.
Okay, the marijuana logs is a takeoff, a spoof on the vagina
Oh,
monologues.
okay, sure.
Okay, where instead of three women getting up talking about their vaginas, 3 guys get up and talk about pot in the same sort of like hushed tones, reverent tones, and Tony and Doug and this other guy wrote it, and I come in, with so it's perfect for me, and so every the light comes on, one guy he talks, and then blackout, and then the light comes on another guy, he does his monologue. It's really funny. It's great. It's a great spoof in that. But I kind of tease the guys. I do a little, what they do a little good stuff, but it's kind of gay, and I sort of mention it to them. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, and it's at the Actors Playhouse
on 7th. Yeah,
100
Bleecker,
7th Avenue South. Sure. And how do they get tickets?
I guess you phone Actors Playhouse.
Yeah, let's try that. The Actors Playhouse. Look the number up, and maybe we got the number. We can.
And how long are you doing this for? How long are you actually going to be in that for?
Well, I'm going to do it this week in New York, and then we're going to put it on the road in February, and it's going to go all over the country.
Actually, there's a website, www.potshow.com.
Potshow.com?
Yeah.
Ooh, for all the info. A lot of people want to talk to Tommy Chong. Let's go to Rick in Jersey. Rick, what's up?
Hey, what's up, boys?
Hey, man.
We're hanging with Tommy Chong.
Tommy, you rock, man.
Thanks, man.
Hey, they say when Dudley Moore did Arthur, they tried to seem drunk and sober and see what worked better. Were you guys smoking a lot during the movies, or no?
We both Cheech and I, we smoked up so much before the movies. We sort of had this body memory thing going. It's not hard to do. But what we did, we both found role models, characters that we could pattern ourselves after. And when Cheech and I we were doing sort of improv theater in Vancouver, the guy that I had working the lights, it was a club that I owned, or my family owned, and I had this stoner his name was Strawberry, doing the lights. And he was one of those guys that would, if the bit bombed, he'd tell you about it, He'd say, "Wow, man, they never laughed. Whoa, you guys sucked on that last one, man." And his voice just stuck in my head. And so when we did the movies, and I needed a stoner, and it became Strawberry.
Yeah, right
Hey,
on.
don't look at his face, man. Strawberry.
Yeah,
The guy with the thing on his face.
Yeah. I wasn't looking at his face, man.
We all do that line, though, when you see that guy that has something going on his face. Let's go to Frank.
They were the most ridiculous movies, but entertaining as hell.
Hilarious.
What, they built a truck out of pot and they're trying to drive it across.
Well, the new
ridiculous.
one, we got a working title of Grumpy Old Stoners, but but we got a fart mobile. It runs on farts.
They should use Jimmy Norton.
Very nice.
The studio runs on farts every
Rocket
morning.
propelled.
One of the funniest things I ever
It's
saw.
a coffee he drinks.
It's the smoothies and everything else he shoves into his
in
gullet.
next movie, which is probably my favorite, if I had to choose, I would say next movie. I forget. I think he had soap in his mouth, and you handed him piss, and he drank the piss.
Oh no, that's next. Yeah, next movie.
Oh my God, this is pee, man. God, is that funny?
That was my pre-trial probation officer's favorite bit.
Really?
Because they do pee tests all the time,
Yeah.
and I was going down with my sister's urine, and he's drinking. He thought the soap was Coke, so he stole it. Did a Scarface thing on it.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Let's say hi to Frank in Jersey. Frank, what's up?
How you doing?
Good. We're with Tommy Chong today.
I want to ask him about dipping pot in honey.
We talked about that, no?
Really, I wanted to know how it worked, because I'm about to try it.
Just be very careful.
We were going to do Stoner Spelling Bee in honor of you today.
Just be very, very careful. You don't do too much. Do a
I
very
mean, like how big of a piece do you think?
Small.
A peanut M&M?
Smaller.
Smaller, like an M&M?
Yeah, even smaller.
All right, cool.
Just do the dog eating poison routine. Yeah. Or a rat eating poison. What they do, they eat a little bit, and then they go off and see what happens.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't kill them, then they go eat the rest of it.
Nice.
Yeah, start small.
Yeah, start small.
All right.
All right, sounds good. I'm going to go listen to myself on my Skyline now.
All right, enjoy, mister.
Yeah, we're going to have you back because we do this bit called Stoner Spelling Bee. We get these guys to get really high, and then they have to spell words. It would be an honor if he came back and played with us, man. And be like a judge. It's hilarious.
I'm writing a book, and I got a computer that has the spell correct.
Yeah.
and it gets pissed off at me because my spelling's so bad. The computer starts telling me,
you ass. It
starts
right.
taking a long time, you know.
Right. What are you
Moaning.
waiting for?
Yeah.
It's CAT, you ass. Brian in Texas, what's up?
Yeah, hey, I just wanted to say, Tommy, you're great. They never should have messed with you. I kind of got in the same boat with you. I've been out 15 months today.
Are you are you still on paper?
Oh, yeah. I got a 5-year sentence, and I'm...
So you're doing 5?
Yeah.
Well, everything's okay, though?
Oh, yeah, it's
great,
man. I got out there, got straight.
Good for you.
So it wasn't that hard to quit smoking, like you said.
It's not, no.
Because, I mean, you go so long inside without doing it, it's nothing to do it once you're out.
And body memory takes over,
Oh, yeah,
You
definitely.
can feel the stone. I still get the munchies. You still get the munchies?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Yeah. At a certain time at night, all of a sudden I find myself in front of a refrigerator or wherever I'm at, and I'm just eating, mindlessly.
Oh, yeah. It's hard.
All right, Brian, hang in there, okay?
All right.
Thank you. We got John in D.C. We're all over the country. John, what's up?
Hey, guys, what's up?
Hey.
Hey,
John.
Pookie.
Hi, mister.
Haha. Hey, what's up? I wanted to ask Tommy about, you were talking about the celebrities who are really your friends and who aren't your friends. And I was wondering what's going on with you and Jay Leno, because you did his show after you got out, but supposedly he was disowning you when you were in prison.
Well, no, what happened, that was kind of a misunderstanding.
Oh, okay.
But Jay has, because of his position, he has to.
Yeah, I know.
He has to, be careful about the corporate sponsors, and so he was kind of walking that tightrope, until he found out that the kind of charges that were so bogus and everything else, and then he's been on my side ever since.
Oh, that's good.
And Jay and I have always hit it off well. There was a time when he said he didn't remember meeting me.
Uh-huh.
Did you smoke pot with Jay Leno?
No, Jay doesn't smoke at all, man.
No. Doesn't seem like the type.
Unlike Arnold, who just bogarts the joint every time you're smoking with him.
Tommy Chong, I need some pot. Must have been fun.
Arnold German lips the joint.
Does he German lip the joint? That is funny. Did you ever have a falling out with Cheech?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what was that about? Because people know about it, but not a lot of people know what actually happened. Because, of course, in the movies, you guys are pals and everything. So.
Well, no, Cheech quit. He quit the act, and he didn't want to do Dope Humor anymore.
No.
He wanted to act. He wanted to be an actor,
Mm-hmm.
And so then I'm still doing comedy, so it was just so natural for me to zing him all the time. And so I had about a half hour of anti-Cheech jokes.
Really?
Him and Don Johnson, when he was doing the
right, they're doing a show, yeah.
I had a song I used to sing. It was pretty. He didn't laugh too hard at it.
No, he didn't find the humor in it?
No. And then my wife was on the road with me, she still is, my beautiful, gorgeous, lovely wife, Shelby. And Shelby and I, we were together longer than Cheech and I had been together.
Mm-hmm.
She was with me when we met Cheech. And so she would do a few, sort of jokes too.
Oh, yeah, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's all good now. Well, we got offered a ton of money to do a reunion, and you know how much, how money kind of,
yeah, money takes care of all
yeah,
problems.
you go, oh, okay.
It's the only reason Ant and I are still doing this thing.
Yeah.
For that kind of money, I'll apologize.
Hey, best of friends.
Yeah, we apologize to the Catholic Church so we can get our gigs back.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
Oh, that's right. Didn't I read about that?
Yeah, that was us, Tommy.
What did you guys do?
Well,
don't get into it.
No, it's all right. Allegedly, a couple had butt sex at St. Pat's Cathedral during our show one
That's
night.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
When did that happen? 'Cause was I in jail then?
That was about 2 years ago, a little over.
No, I was. But I do remember.
We were shown the door.
Yeah,
that was when we got fired the last time, and they kept us off the air for 2 years.
2 years?
2 years.
Yeah, and now you're on satellite.
Yeah.
We did a 2-year sentence for that one.
Yeah?
Yeah, the FCC just really was pissed off. So.
Oh, yeah.
And now we got, We got our forum here on satellite, so we can say whatever we want.
I love the forum. I love satellite.
I know. You don't have to deal with the FCC.
I couldn't believe, I didn't know anything about satellite, and I rented a Cadillac, and we're somewhere Fort Wayne, Indiana, or something. And all of a sudden, I'm getting all these great stations. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, where normally you just get the
is
church music
incredible.
blasting through your speakers for 800 miles in any direction. Now, and wherever you are, you could listen to one station the whole way. It's pretty cool.
It was so cool. Except it would. There were certain areas you couldn't get it or something.
I don't know. Sometimes if there's tall buildings around,
something
you
like
got
that.
a problem. But they put repeaters in.
Yeah, in
big
general,
cities.
the signal is pretty crystal clear.
And the sound is so much superior.
Lauren wants to say hi in Florida. Lauren, what's up?
Yeah, Opie, Anthony, Little Jimmy. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Tommy Chong, my hero.
Hey.
Hey, this whole dipping the pot in honey thing.
Uh-oh.
First of all, I love you. I have emphysema. I can't smoke anymore. There is hope. Number
Well,
two,
listen, I do not advocate the use of pot.
Oh, there you go.
I hear you.
Stay out of jail. Stay out of jail.
I don't advocate the use
He's
of pot.
just talking about
I'm
the old
just
days.
telling you a story that a guy told me, a friend of mine in jail told me that's what he does if he's got emphysema. So are you going to try it?
There you go.
Growing up, my dad was a beekeeper.
Oh,
And
yeah.
He grew marijuana for smoking the bees. When you're working with the bees, you just got to smoke them.
What a great idea.
And he used marijuana. So now
Sure.
I can go the other way and use marijuana, dip it in honey, and it's come full circle.
Hey, Tommy, you don't just use the honey for tea, do you? Oh, no, you dip your pot in it, man. That's great. All right, come with us again.
Exactly.
DEA. Tommy, I like this honey. You don't just put it on toast or anything, do you?
Well, I want to do butter.
Butter?
Yeah. I the marijuana logs, where I'm appearing, I do a bit about making butter. Because I think that butter has a better chance of being legal than smoking. Than cigarettes. Because I think eventually cigarettes will probably be,
Yeah, they're heading in that direction.
eased right out. But butter, pot butter.
Pot butter.
I can't believe it's pot butter.
Spread it on bread. DEA right now is like, we got to get this. He's got a plot. Put pot in everyone's butter or something. I heard it on the radio. Going to contaminate our butter supply with pot. Put him back in jail.
They're waiting outside right now.
Oh,
with their DEA shirts on.
DEA shirts and headbands. Hippie headbands.
Right. Hey, Nick, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to the show tomorrow night. I have two questions. One,
Sure.
should I show up stoned? And if I do, are there munchies available in the theater?
There's munchies available all over the place. And I didn't hear that question. Because technically I can't be around anybody that's...
oh, right.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be... but if it's stoned naturally, then it's okay.
All right. Mark in Jersey. Hey, Mark.
Hey, what's going on?
We're with Tommy Chong.
How you guys doing? Jim,
Yes.
guys, I love you.
Thank you.
Now, you see, I was driving over that during George Washington Bridge, and I looked down, and I saw some kids smoking out of a bong made out of a Poland Spring bottle.
Oh, my God.
Yep. You see everything as a trucker, you see?
Wow, you really felt that one sputtering out, didn't you, sir?
He's doing a couple callbacks from earlier in the show there, Tommy. Tim in California. What's up, Tim?
Hey, man.
Hey.
My friend's mom used to make pie crust with pot butter in it all the time. As soon as he said that thing about honey and buds, I've been trying to call in. But, yeah, you eat a piece of pie, and it takes you like an hour and 15 minutes. But, man, you were ripped, dude.
I bet.
You were ripped.
That's the trouble with
good
eating.
stuff.
That's the trouble with eating it, because...
You have no idea how much you've done.
Well, you get the munchies and you can't stop eating. So you got to be very, very, very
You
careful.
gotta be very careful if your food's made out of the pie.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah, sure.
one time, some fan gave me a muffin, and like a fool, I took a little bite. Next thing you know, it's gone, and I was gone for about 3 days.
Wow. Yeah.
I couldn't get. I could get out of bed, and I'll tell you how stoned I was. I went everywhere with my wife, and she was shopping. I went everywhere with her and sat and waited for her. And she tried stuff on, and I loved everything she put on. I said, that's great.
Yeah, just take your time. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm in another world. The Weed Master wants to add to this discussion. Weed Master.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, THC has to be heated to be psychoactive. So that's why when you heat it in butter, it works. But for the honey thing, you got to boil up your honey so it gets hot, so it makes that THC active.
Okay.
That's all. Punching out.
I had no idea.
He sounds very stoned.
It shows you.
Always.
Todd in Kansas. What's up, Todd?
Oh, not much. I just want to ask Tommy today, is the movie The Corsinger Brothers ever going to be released on DVD?
That's a good question. It was made for Orion Pictures, who went bankrupt. I don't know who owns that. We'll have to find out. That's a good question. I'll have to check it out.
You do all right with those movies still? You get get money from them? You guys were smart when it came to the business end?
Yeah, we did. We do pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. Because you hear from some people, it's just a disaster.
Oh, yeah.
Things
I know. I mean, we had our mini disasters, but we were lucky. We were very lucky.
Cool. I think we're running out of time.
Yeah, they just gave us the cue. We're running out of time. We want to thank Tommy Chong for stopping in.
Very interesting. Tommy, a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
We learned that Arnold Schwarzenegger loves pot.
I smoked a pot.
That's what I learned today on the program.
Morning.
It's the Marijuana Logs at the Actors Playhouse, 107th Avenue South. You can go to www.potshow.com for all the ticket info, right?
Yeah.
Hello, cutie pie.
And you're going to go on tour in February.
And tour in February, yeah.
All right, very good.
And I'm going to be on the 70s show in January.
Oh, yeah, someone was asking about that if you're doing the 70s show.
Yeah, I'll be doing 2 episodes in January.
All right, very
So
good.
that's
They
my
invited
next-
you back. That's cool.
Yeah, they're
Because you were on there before you went to. Very good.
Yeah, they're cool.
Cool, man.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Take it easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tommy Chong, as we end another fine Opie.
Can I get one more picture with you? The only one came out with 2 blanks.
Tomorrow is Whip 'em Out Wednesday. Bye-bye.